And that's when you guys turn off the video. Hey, I'm Anthonix Maximus, and this is Anthonix Maximus Matinee. Today I'm going to talk about Superman 2025. I mean, why not? After all, I actually did start Anthonix Maximus Matinee on the Batman, so why not continue this with Superman? The James Gunn Superman. That's right, I went to Regal. I got my specialty popcorn bucket that comes with cups. I just love what they did with Lex Luthor's head. Maybe Lex Luthor highlights as the Watcher. So yeah, I know I've been bad about releasing videos. Sorry, I've been working on a video that I actually recorded last year for Anthonix Maximus reviews, and I said that would be the next video, but I made a liar of myself.
You raggedy bitch.
I am so sorry. But the new Superman movie is out and I wanted to talk about it. The thing is, I'm a Zack Snyder fan. And I was upset when they announced that they were going to not continue with Henry Caville. But I wanted to give this movie a chance. I really did. I like the whole respect the past, embrace the future motto that's been going around. So that's what I did. The casting is actually pretty good. I mean, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, who I really do respect. Yeah, I was looking forward to this movie, and I gotta say, I rather enjoyed it. I did enjoy the movie. Is it better than Man of Steel? In plenty of ways, yes. In other ways, no. I kind of like the philosophical side of Man of Steel, where the world deals with what would really happen if the son of Krypton came down to Earth. But at the same time, I was missing the fun Superman that we used to get in the other movies. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And that's the overhead light. You know why the overhead light is out? I'll tell you why. It's because it's summertime in New York, in Queens. And what happens when it gets really hot? The power is reduced. Because Con Edison sucks. And I hope someone from Con Edison is watching this video. May you go to hell.
Why are you the way that you are?
So anyway, sorry. Tangent. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Superman, the 2025 version. There are things that I really loved about this movie, and then there are things where I'm just like, alright, settle down, James Gunn, please. Like I said, I like the fun of it. I like they made the movie fun to watch. I love Crypto. Editing Anthonix here. I just wanted to point out a couple more things, which I will kind of sprinkle out through the video. I thought it was hilarious that Superman saved a squirrel. And that is a bit over the top, but at the same time, I kind of believe that for Superman. I like that they introduce elements like the Fortress of Solitude that we didn't get from the Man of Steel series. In Man of Steel, we just got a spaceship. And I like the little twists that they add in this movie. I like it's not an origin story because we all know the story of Superman by now. My only complaint about it is that they throw too much at us. Like, there's just too much going on. It doesn't really give us too much of time to breathe. There are like different plot elements, and I think everyone has things to do in this. And as I said, I love Nicholas Hoult's portrayal of Lex Luthor in this movie. It's kind of campy where it's over the top, but also maniacal as Lex Luthor should be. Like, he's petty. His whole purpose is to stop Superman out of pettiness. He has all these brilliant schemes. Although I wouldn't say he's the smartest Lex Luthor, but he has his hands in on many different things. He has his hands in on many different things, like the Pentagon, social media, also news outlets. He has ways to get the public to turn on Superman. The chemistry between Superman and Lois is palpable. There's so much pulp. This movie does show a lot of respect to the Man of Steel. The character, not the movie. My little kind of complaint about it is Superman himself. It's not that I dislike David Corenswet, like David Corenswet. Sorry. He's a charismatic guy, but I think he's a bit too fun as Superman. Like, Superman can have a few jokes, but I always kind of found him to be more as like a Boy Scout, like a no-nonsense Boy Scout with a little bit of hint of fun. But this one is kind of like jokish. I don't know how I feel about that, but I like where the movie takes it. I like all the side characters. Eve Tessmacher is in this movie, and she's a bit of a headache, but I can't decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing because what we learned from her in the movie. So it can go either way. I'm still deciding on how I feel about that. Mr. Terrific really should have his own show. He almost steals the spotlight when he's on screen. Hawkgirl, she's good in a sense that her character is likable. Is she a good Hawkgirl? No, she just kind of comes off as like a teenage hothead. Her attitude about things is very Hawkgirl-like. Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion. I mean, it's Nathan Fillion. He's done some other James Gunn projects, and he's been Green Lantern before. Hal Jordan Green Lantern, but he's been a Green Lantern before. But as I said, the plot's kind of all over the place. Just throws a lot of things at us. Let's not get too deep into detail at this moment until we get to the spoiler version. We're about to go into spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you may not want to watch this part. But if you have seen the movie or you haven't seen the movie, you don't care about the spoilers, stick around. If you don't want to be spoiled, come right back to this. Yeah, guys, so really, I think this is a good movie. I do. I wish it was Henry Caville, but as far as the whole Daily Planet scene goes, the characters of the Daily Planet, it all works perfectly well. I'm still not sure why Lois had to be this involved, though. Like, why she needed to... Alright, it was cool that she went along with Mr. Terrific to look for Clark. That's fine, but then afterwards, she's still flying around in Mr. Terrific's vehicle, his ship, carrying the other members of the Daily Planet. Like, I don't know why they needed to involve that. They could have left that out and it would have been fine. The whole scene of Mr. Terrific fighting all those men was really visually stunning, with Lois being in a force field and all the chaos happening around her. It's like these movies really try to go out of their way to prove to us that Lois isn't just a damsel. It's like, okay, we believe you. Throwing the kaiju monster at us was a bit much. It's like James Gunn really just wanted to have Superman fight all these monsters as again. He wanted to have Superman fight these powerful enemies like the Engineer and Ultraman, both very good. I'll be honest, I've never heard of the Engineer until this movie came out. When they announced the Engineer, I had to kind of look that up because I didn't know anything about it. I knew about Ultraman. I knew about the twist of it being Superman that's clone. With Ultraman, instead of making him a Superman from another Earth, they kind of gave him the Brainiac story. They rumored that Ultraman was going to be revealed to be Henry Caville, and that's not true. But that's okay. We like seeing Superman fight a version of himself. It's kind of like watching him fight Nuclear Man all over again. Now, the twist, though, with Jor-El and Lara pretty much telling Superman that his whole purpose is to conquer Earth and to just pretty much spread his seed throughout the planet to create a new race. That's wild. That is a wild take on the House of El, but at the same time, yeah, I can kind of see it because, like, a lot of iterations, including Superman the movie from 1978 with Christopher Reeve, that Jor-El did kind of have Superman to be, like, superior to the human race, right? And also on Smallville, in the beginning, they made it seem like that Jor-El kind of was pushing Clark to rule the planet. Of course, the tone changed throughout the seasons, but it's the same idea. So I wasn't that, like, I wasn't clutching my pearls. A Metamorpho, of course, great. I forgot to mention that in the non-spoiler, but yes. Overall, it was great. I'm repeating certain words. It was a good movie. It was a fantastic movie. If need be, I'll see it again. If I see it again, it'll probably be in 4D because I'm curious of what that'd be like. I had a good time watching this movie. It was a fun movie to watch. The cameos with Michael Rosenbaum doing the voice of one of the soldiers, because after all, Michael Rosenbaum is a veteran of DC. He was the voice of Flash, and he was also Lex Luthor in Smallville, which, by the way, is, according to Nicholas Hoult, his inspiration for his Lex Luthor. He actually consulted with Michael Rosenbaum on this. According to Nicholas Hoult, Smallville was his exposure to Superman. It's actually kind of cute that we get to see Lex Luthor and Mr. Terrific in this movie, considering that the two actors worked together in X-Men First Class. Peacemaker being in a movie sets us up for season 2 of Peacemaker next month. I really can't wait for that. I also like the very end where we see Supergirl. They're setting her up for her own movie. And you know what? Just from that brief scene of Supergirl, I can't wait. I love her Supergirl. She has the correct attitude of like a young, kind of precocious party girl. That's a fun Supergirl. That's a Supergirl I like. Of course, who could forget that awesome cameo from Christopher Reeve's son? Now, what I was saying about Eve Tessmacher, because Otis was in this movie too. He was a bumbling fool like Ned Beatty's character in the original Superman movie, but Otis was in the movie. And Eve Tessmacher was in this movie playing Lex's girlfriend, who also has a really major crush on Jimmy Olsen. And you think she's a complete idiot, and she is, but she's also smart at what she does because she's secretly exposing Lex to Jimmy Olsen, like doing selfies, but like selfies in front of very important, incriminating details. I don't know if that's her being dumb or her actually being more clever than she lets on. And like the original Superman movie, Eve Tessmacher does betray Lex Luthor. So who knows? But I gotta say, I really loved the ending where Clark just pretty much replaces all the images of his Kryptonian parents with his loving adoptive parents. Can't really think of anything more to say to it. I like the pocket dimensions. I love it all. I love the creativity. I love the speech that Superman gives to Lex about being human is his greatest strength, his greatest power. I just think Superman, instead of being stoic and like giving a speech, he's just really shouty. He does lose his cool. That is kind of why I'm like a little bit weird about David Corenswet on this movie, but because he is a likable character, he's a likable Superman, I'm gonna give it a pass. I had fun. Let's go back and finish this review with our non-spoiler friends right now. Hey there. So we were talking so much stuff, catching up. It was a really cool party. Too bad he didn't see the movie. Otherwise, he could have joined our spoiler party. Anyway, the movie does have a mid-credits and a post-credits. Doesn't really add to the story, just a cute little thing. So if you want to skip it, I think you can. I will say it's a movie that's worth going back to. I enjoyed the characters. David Corenswet. I look forward to his Superman in other films, so I'll continue with this Superman. James Gunn, you have my permission to continue the DCU universe. That's kind of redundant, right? The DC universe. Let's go ahead and give this a grade. I am going to give Superman an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Closer to a 9 than a 7. 8 out of 10. I think for a movie like this, I needed to do a review. So I'll get some other stuff out soon enough, hopefully, knock on wood, haha. But, yeah, have a good one.